It is already 9:30 and welcome to Qigong. We are working on that late summer energy, um, that, that feeling sometimes of some dampness settling in. Sometimes we can have sinus issues. Just thinking of maybe doing some tapping on our sinuses today. Um, Still working on a lot of heat, so we're still clearing some heat from our bodies from that summer energy. I don't know if any of you have been experiencing this. I know I have personally, just sheer exhaustion. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I feel like I'm wiped out. And so we get a lot of yang energy, that fire energy that comes in the summertime. And we forget to take that time to rest. I know I do. I like to go, go, go sometimes, and I forget that I am a human being and not a human doing. So, welcome, welcome, and let's begin. All right, so we're going to come into that Wuji posture, and we talked about last time. Your feet about hip width apart, and really feel your feet in the ground. See if you can't feel each part of your foot, like the ball of your foot, the side of your foot, the heel of your foot, about each one of your toes on the earth. As you inhale, feel the earth rise up to meet you. And then as you exhale, just sink a little deeper into the earth. When you do, your tailbone naturally tucks in, it's dropping down. Right? Then we lift the crown of your head. When you lift the crown of your head, you are lengthening through the back of your neck. Your chin naturally tucks in. Then we relax through our joints. We relax our ankles, our knees, our hips. Okay? We relax our shoulders, our elbows, our wrists. Relax your jaw, relax your throat, relax your chest. Sink your mind and your breath into your lower dantian, which is 3 fingers below your belly button, deep inside your abdomen. As you inhale, feel your abdomen rise. And as you exhale, feel it fall. So inhale, expand your abdomen. And exhale, contract. And even place your hands on your belly. And just see if you can't feel that movement of your abdomen as you inhale and exhale. When we do, we're pulling that diaphragm down, making space in our lungs. This deep abdominal breathing helps to stimulate that parasympathetic nerve, and it signals to our brain that we're safe. We can get into that rest and digest mode. One more deep breath here. Good. And bring a little smile to your face, right? That also initiates your parasympathetic nervous system. And just notice how you're feeling. What are the sensations that you feel in your body right now? Maybe tension or relaxation, strength, weakness. Just notice. Take a moment to tune in to know where we are in our bodies in this present moment. We're going to start with a little warm up today. So, today we're going to move our hips a little bit. So, just pick a direction and make some hip circles, right? Gosh, if you remember nothing else from Qigong, just doing this one activity can bring so much release of tension in this area, in your low back, in your hips, your hip flexors. So relax through your ankles, relax your knees, they're nice and soft, and relax your hips. Do one more in this direction. Come back to center. Pause. And go the other direction. Just feeling that spiraling energy coming from the feet into your ankles, your knees, your hips, coming up your spine, all the way up through your neck. Your arms are nicely relaxed. You're breathing in to your belly. And then come back to center. Just pause for a moment. We're going to do a little warming up of our spine. So this is called spinal cord breathing. So make light fists with your hands. You're going to inhale. Your arms are going to go into a goalpost, right? When you do, I want you to arch through those shoulder blades. Push your chest forward a little bit. Then you're going to bring your arms, your forearms together as close as is comfortable. And then you're going to tuck your chin and your tailbone. So inhale as you come up and exhale as you come down. Inhale, feel that expansion in your chest. Exhale, feel the rounding in your neck and your tailbone. Just getting a little movement into your spine. Good. And we're going to do one more here. Inhaling up, exhaling down, and then coming back to your Ruji. Notice how you feel. See if you can feel that energy running up and down your spine, tuning into your body. Now we're going to do a little knocking. So we're going to turn at our waist here. All right, and just allow your arms to knock across your low belly and your low back. And someone asked the other day in class if their hand was supposed to hit their low belly. If that's where your hand lands, that's fine. If it lands across your hip, that's fine too. What I want is for you to relax through the effort. And then we're going to start to bounce into our knees, right? So as your torso comes forward, you're bending into your knees just a little bit. And then allow that energy from your feet to come up through your legs and move your body. So we feel this opening in the hip region, right? Keeping your knees facing forward. You're turning into your hip, turning at the waist, really warming up your spine here. Good. This knocking activates this lower dantian. Knocking can free up any stagnation, right? Gets chi and blood moving through our body. And we're going to focus on that spleen just a little bit. Okay? So we're going to come up and we're going to knock on the low ribs. Right? The spleen is on the left side of your body. And Chinese medicine is associated with our digestion. In Eastern medicine, or that's Eastern, sorry. In Western medicine, it's more associated with, I would say, our immune system, our red blood cells. They are recycled through that part of our body. You can live without a spleen, but you do have a compromised immune system. And interesting, we have this link between our gut health, right, digestion, and our immune system. Just curious. Be curious. Let's do a few purging breaths here. All right, so we're going to take an inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. You do those on your own. And the spleen can hold on to worry and doubt, right? Not bad emotions. It's when they get stuck that they cause that disease. Let's do one more purging breath here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Then we're going to come back down to that lower dantian. And then we're going to isolate this knocking on the chi high point in the front and the mingmen point in the back, associated with our lower dantian. We spend a lot of time during late summer really grounding ourselves. Good. And then we're going to come just to the front and give our belly a little knock. This is good for your digestion. It brings a lot of energy into this area. And then come back to rest. And I want you to do some abdominal breathing. You can place your hands on your abdomen if that feels good. Inhale, expand your abdomen. And exhale, contract. See if you notice if it's a little bit easier to breathe into your low belly. Let's do one more here. Come back to your Wuji. Notice how you feel. Let's do a little bit of tapping, right? So we're going to tap on the stomach meridian. So, and a little bit of the large intestine meridian. So like your ring finger can be right by your nose, and then your middle finger can be under your eye. And just tap in this region up and down through your sinuses. You're catching the meridians, if you will, right? If we were doing acupuncture with a needle, we'd have to be a little more precise, but our fingers are big enough. Good. We're just tapping through up and down those sinuses. Good. Notice if you feel any soreness, right? You can always come back and tap on this. And then come up onto your forehead. Do a little tapping on your forehead. Coming up into your hairline, the bladder meridian runs through here. And then down through the sides of your face to your jaw. We can hold a lot of tension in our jaw. There's the trigeminal nerve that comes through here. There's also the triple warmer meridian. When you get stuck in your head, you can do this last one. It's called 10 Dragons Running Through the Forest. So take your fingertips, start at your hairline, and you're just going to go through your hair, running through your hair. It's like dragons running through the forest. Clearing out any stagnation, anything in your brain that you're kind of ruminating on. And one more. Give your hands a little bit of a flick and just let that energy go. Notice how you feel. Good. Good. All right, let's do a little bit of marching. All right, so we're going to start with our hands about even with our lower dantian. If that's too much for you, bring them down lower. That's fine. So the idea here is to pick up your leg and let your leg hit your hands. Good. So we're doing twofold. Right? We are increasing our balance. So bending down a little bit. We're also strengthening these hip flexors. Right? Those are the muscles that help you go up the stairs, help you get out of the chair. Let's do one more on each side. And come back to your Wuji. Now we're going to do a little brain work. So we're going to do crossover. Good. So there's a little bit of a twisting. So you'll bring your leg up and your hand over. And again, we're hitting our leg to our hand instead of our hand to our leg. So there's a little bit of a twist. And we're help increasing our balance again. And increase the communication between that left and right hemisphere of our brain. Those hemispheres to chat to one another. One more on each side. And then come back to your Wuji and just notice how you feel. Let's do a little flow. So we're going to do a little fire and water interact. So the hands are face up in front of the lower dantian. Inhale to the chest. Rotate the palms and allow them to fall back down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhale, feel that energy rise. And exhale, feel it fall. Your mind is going from your lower dantian to your middle dantian. Connecting that energy. The lower dantian is our source of vitality. And that middle dantian is our emotional center. Right? We learn the heart actually feels all of the emotions that can get stuck in the other organs. So the heart feels that worry and doubt. Let's do one more like this. This time we're going to come up to the chest. We're going to expand open, come around, scoop up earth energy, and bring it back down. So you inhale up, exhale out and around. Inhale and then exhale as you come down. Inhale up, exhale down. So we tap into that earth energy, help calm that yang energy that is building in our bodies. Inhale up, exhale out. Inhale, expand. Exhale, down, and inhale up. Inhale up. So we tap into that earth energy, that sense of rooted and groundedness. We build up that sense of trust. Trust in ourselves, trust in our own intuition, maybe trust in a higher power, if that's what you believe. Trust that everything is working out for you exactly how it's supposed to. I'm going to do one more here. Inhale up. Make that a moving meditation. And then walk yourself back to your Wuji. Tune into your body and notice how you feel. All right, let's use this sun and the earth energy. Right? We're going to do sun over the lake. So you start in what we call Wuji earth. Feet are connected to the earth. And then there's a point within your palms called Laogong. Right? It's about in the center of your palms, not quite. But I want you to concentrate and bring your attention into your palms and the balls of your feet, feeling that connection to earth, feeling that sense of stability. Then we're going to rotate to the side. The palms face one another. You're going to come up, come over, rotate to the opposite direction, and down. So as the hands come up, you inhale. As they come over, you hold the breath. As you exhale, bringing the hands down, hold the breath. So it becomes a moving meditation with that box breathing, that regulated breathing, where the inhale, the hold, and the exhale are all the same length. So you can do this as slow as possible. Slowing the breathing and slowing the breath. I'm going to do one more on this side. And you're going to float down, float across that water, and we're going to go the opposite way. Inhale as you come up, holding that breath, and exhaling down. Qigong is the only place where the sun can rise in both the east and the west. The sun rises, the sun sets. You know, tapping into that rhythmic pattern of nature. That's so much of what Qigong is about. We're not separate from nature. We are a part of it. Nature was in with us, within us, right? We ebb and flow. I'm going to do one more. And down. And then coming back into that Wuji earth, feeling your connection, not just to earth, but to nature. We're going to center our energy and close. So the hands are face up in front of your lower dantian. The thumb is away from that forefinger, opening up this point here in that fleshy point called hugu. Okay? We're going to raise our hand up, and that hugu point is going to face the center of our body and come down. And the other hand, circling around. So you can kind of visualize that gathering of yin and yang energy, the gathering of heaven and earth, allowing it to fill up your cup. Fill up your cup with what your body needs for today, what your mind tells you you should need or you should do. Where is your body? What are the needs of your body? Let's do one more on each side. Interlace the webs of your thumbs together, one palm over the other, and place that on your lower dantian. You're going to bring your feet closer together, as close as is comfortable for you. Do a little bamboo in the wind. So feel your feet rooted in the earth. Feel that strength and stability in your lower limbs. And maybe there's a little softness and flexibility in your upper body, like a tree blowing in the wind, bamboo. And then coming back into stillness, allowing that chi to go where it needs to go for your own nourishment, for your own healing. We've worked with that earth energy, helping to clear out the spleen of any worry and doubt, making space for trust. Trust in ourselves, trust in our path, trust in our own intuition. You say, take this sense of trust into all that you do today. And I want to thank you so much for moving your chi with me. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, ask them. I'd be happy to. If there's anything that you want to learn a little more about in Qigong, please reach out and let me know. I love learning and I love sharing that learning with you as well. All right. Have a great week. Thank you so much.